And howdy, folks. This is your old pal, Uncle Al. Had a fun night. Effects of twin moons. Everybody's always laughing to old Uncle Al. Now, I've been doing a lot of research on, pistols used by the gangsters of the dirty 30s. And I get interrupted with daily life, medical issues, whole bunch of weird stuff. Okay? At least I'm not a Democrat. Okay? But we're not going down the tubes, Uncle Al. Yeah, right. Okay? Like I said, I ain't flushing 24 billion gallons of water out of California down into the bay. We need that water, especially San Francisco. Head, you gotta let go all their water reserves. It's in Northern California, you idiots. Okay, but anyway, back to the dirty 30s and Depression era, road bandits, desperados. There are two kinds of criminals during that time period. They were the mafia on the East Coast. Then you have where Detroit splits the line, and you're in the Midwest where Al Capone transplanted his base. A lot of these criminals came out of Chicago and the Great Lakes area on the west side of Detroit. Okay? I know Black Widow channel, the Black Widow channel, is doing crime. I always recommend certain things for her to do is to study the desperados of the Midwest. It's a fascinating history. A lot of people get it wrong. All right? Both law enforcement and the desperados. Now, a lot of people say, well, they all had Tommy guns. No, they didn't. Okay? Bonnie and Clyde prefer sawed-off shotguns and BARs. Okay? Clyde was an amateur gunsmith, but he was taught like in the Old West. Okay? A lot of police officers at that time, this is going to hurt, were taught to shoot single action using double action revolvers at distance. You want accurate aim fire. Unfortunately, the weapons they use, they only had 6 shots. It was either 32 short or 32 long or 38 regular or 38 long. Okay, a lot of them couldn't afford 38 special, which was developed during this time right after World War I. Okay, but people were cheap. A lot of people ask, well, why all the bandits at that time shoot people in the legs or in the head or in the arms? Because everybody, all the desperados at that time from west of Detroit were wearing armor, body armor. Just like today, except theirs were Dura steel. Same thing, well, Ford used to make it. I did a little research by Ford. Ford made car doors. Also, they made bulletproof vests for National Guard and for local police department, as well as bank guards and officers and certain people training. But a lot of people don't like to wear it because it's Dura steel. It's plated steel. Okay? Because I looked at one and they had certain panels that protects the chest. It was fairly heavy. But if you took a car door off of a Ford, cut that part, pounded it, and made it into a vest, that was it. Okay? Because I did a lot of research on it. And Ford made a lot of money. Because that's why a lot of gangsters went to 45 and 38 Super. One, you could shoot the cop cars or the cars that's chasing you. Okay, I can't do this thing too well because my hand's all crippled up. At the cop cars, and they'll take it. A good point was when Babyface Nelson, because people mixed up Minnesota and Wisconsin together. It's Wisconsin. Okay, he was on the run from Illinois, and he was in Wisconsin right after the Bohemian shootout. Now, he didn't grab a Thompson. That's where everybody got it wrong. All right? He always had his shoulder rig by Lebanon out of San Antonio, Texas, but he usually makes trips up to St. Paul, Minnesota. Also, he made trips to Chicago. Also, he made trips to Point Place, I forget the state, Wisconsin. He had underworld connection. All this was interstate crime. A lot of people forget about this, okay? Because these crooks used planes, automobiles, and they went to the West Coast, from San Francisco to LA to Seattle, back over to South Dakota, back over to Utah, back over to Oklahoma, bandit territory. That's where Bonnie and Clyde is. And then back to Texas. It was a field day, and a lot of people didn't know what the hell they're doing. And Hoover, at the time, was coming in, cleaning up his office, because they were taught the old-fashioned. You shoot it like this with your arms stretched out and take single shot from a double-action revolver. Okay, fact. And you only use double action when you're close range, when you're sticking the gun into the guy's ribs. And that was horrible because they were standing upright, perfect target, and they got this bulletproof vest. Oh, I'm fine. I have this 38 long, and I'll be shooting at them. A lot of them died. Okay? This is why I tell people, read history. Read newspapers. Newspapers were pretty good at that time. They're explaining how the motorized bandits were getting away, and they were laughing at the local police and the FBI, making it worse for the FBI because they had a big scandal. Some of their agents were crooks, either joined forces with these guys or they were improperly trained, like the Bohemian Massacre. Okay, they shot the wrong people. They didn't know how to use Tommy guns. They're all armed with God knows what. Okay, and they shot their own cars. So Hoover was upset, really. And federal agents, that's from 3 departments: FBI, Department of Treasury, IRS. Okay, all of them are scrambling around. Also ATF. So they're all federal agents. Now, Purdy Boy Floyd shot the most agents. He shot 3 FBI agents. He shot a whole bunch of other federal agencies. He shot ATF. He shot Department of Treasury. He shot IRS. You name it. He shot a lot of them. Okay? But the main 3, okay, last 2 died in Wisconsin. Okay? From an ambush. Okay? I think it's Branson's ambush. And then the first one, when he was escaping from the Bohemian Massacre, he didn't carry a Tommy gun. He carried Lehman's room broom. Okay? Without a stock. Because you got to remember, Babyface Nelson was a little shorter. He only weighed, during his lifetime, from 137 pounds to 140 pounds, like Uncle Al when he was sick. But he was a small guy. All right? But he did carry that pistol. And it fit in one Lehman's special shoulder holster. And he never used the stock when he was carrying it in his shoulder. Why? Because he knew how to shoot two-handed position this way. Now, when I covered the development and everything, everybody was still using the old mechanical, this one, when they're shooting it with a shoulder stock. Okay? I'm still working on that video because there's a few things you have to be really careful of so kids don't blow off their hands and adults don't blow up their face. So anyway, this is a really interesting subject for Sherry Survival. Go check out her Ruger Charger 9mm. That's why a lot of these bandits use 9mm. They were disgusted by it. They said it's no better than a 38. And then you have, what's it called? Little Gun Bunny. Go check out. She's from In Range. This is a good subject to cover. Okay? I know the Duelist Den is doing this. They're covering how come the law enforcement's bad guys and training on firearms. Okay? interesting history that nobody ever covers. All right. So far, I'm still doing research on early development. All right. This has nothing to do showing stuff. This is you and me talking. You could do your own research, make your own videos. Okay, because Uncle Alan's tired and pretty sick, and I'm waiting for the plumber. It's going to cost me overtime because Mom has dementia and poured grease down my drain, so I have to pick up a new garbage disposal. And remember, you know who else is going down the drain? But I'm Biden. Oh, wait, we skipped that. I'm Kamala. Oops, skip that. I'm Brandon. We're going into the light. Okay, like I said, I use humor and comedy. All right? If you want to check things out, do your own research. Don't go by YouTube or social media. Do it on foot. Okay? Because a lot of people, they don't do that. All right, folks. I'll catch you later. It's 2024. It's later than you think. God bless and good luck. You'll be needing it. Bye now. Where's that button?